Welcome to From the Jump. My name is Jaden Jones. Today we have a very special guest hailing from Scarborough, Ontario. This big man is an absolute force on the defensive end of things with accolades to show for it. He is a former OCAA Rookie of the Year, OCAA East Division Defensive Player of the Year, CCAA All-Canadian Player, and OUA Defensive Player of the Year. Right now, he's currently overseas in Bulgaria playing for Lokomotiv and absolutely killing it. Please welcome Khalil Miller. Khalil, how are you doing today?
I'm good, man. How you doing?
I'm doing good, doing good. I know you recently started playing in Bulgaria, and it looks like you've had a solid start to the season so far. So, how has it been adjusting to life overseas, and what have you been thinking about the season's beginning so far?
I feel like I've been adjusting very good to like just the patterns of the time change, like the time zones. Like I mean, it was different from the jump when I started in Germany, but like obviously I've gotten used to it. So it's like it's nothing to me because even when I'm back home, I still go to sleep at a certain time because I'm a night owl, so it doesn't change nothing for me. And just the season so far, it's going good. Can't complain. I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, so things are looking good right now.
Yeah, I saw that you got some players of the game the other day. I believe you have like 20 and 16 or something like that. So very solid numbers, very solid. But let's take it back to the beginning and what inspired you to, first not only pick up a basketball, but to continue to pursue basketball and understand that, this might not be just a hobby.
I think I would just say it was just my love for the game at a very young age. Like just watching Kobe and seeing him at a young age, I just knew that like that was something that I wanted to do, and like just moving forward with it, I just knew that I had to stay focused and just be ready when my opportunity came.
Now, are you more of a number 8 Kobe or number 24 Kobe?
Now, see with that, it's hard to really tell. Like you got those were two different generations of Kobe's, So it's like I'm stuck between 8 and 24.
Okay, so let's say, Kobe's your inspiration and role model on the court, but off the court, who really helped shape you growing up?
Off the court, I would just say that that's my cousin. His name is Rory. He's like a father figure. He's like a father figure, a big brother. He's my cousin, like just all in one. And then you got my older brother Jarrell. Like I really look up to him. He's been my rock, like pretty much my whole life because like he was my first best friend. So it's like I look up to him in so many ways, and that's something that he doesn't even know. So it's like shout out Gerald Miller.
That's special. And now, if he could describe you in one word, what do you think he would describe you as?
He likes to joke around and call me his son, but I'd probably say like just caring and resilient. Doesn't give up on his dreams or whatever he wants to do. Yeah, that's me.
So, grew up in Scarborough and going back to the start of your collegiate career anyways, you started off at Seneca College, which is also in Toronto, in 2016, 2017. So, were there any nerves throughout your rookie season, or were you pretty confident coming into the OCAA landscape?
I mean, there was nerves, obviously, but at the same time, I was confident because it's like I knew like this is about to be the start of something very special, something great. The start of like Khalil Miller. Like this was it. That was like the start of the real deal. Like I got my nickname from my head coach at the time, Daryl Glenn. I didn't give myself the real deal. That was given to me. So from then on, there, it just stuck with me, and I just took it with storm.
You won OCAA Rookie of the Year that year. And then the following year, you won OCAA East Defensive Player of the Year. What to you was most memorable or more special?
I'm just gonna start off the bat and say I take pride in my defense. So obviously, like the defensive player of the year, like that's the most memorable one to me.
Would you say, at Seneca is where you learn more of the defensive strategy and playing at a more elite level? Was it a certain coach that kind of taught you some of those tips and tricks on how to be, effective and a defensive specialist on the court?
I feel like all my coaches that I've had throughout my college, university, pro level, I feel like it's just with me. It was just like use my length. Like I'm tall, lanky, 7'2" wingspan, so it's just like it's very hard to do a lot of stuff when I'm like in front of you. So it's been using my length and it's gotten me far.
And in 2022, you made the transfer over to the OUA and attended McMaster, where you pretty much averaged a double-double and, sprinkled in 2 blocks a game. You ranked first in the OUA for total blocks, second for total rebounds, and was named OUA Defensive Player of the Year. So in your opinion, what was the difference in competition, between the OCAA and the OUA? And do you think that most OCAA players can play in the OUA?
So when it comes to the OUA and OCAA, the pace is more faster. Obviously, it's the guys are stronger, quicker, smarter. And when it comes to like the OCAA players playing in the OUA, like I mean, of course you can. Like you gotta stay consistent and stay with it. It's just a different level, and only you can know if you're ready for that next level.
And when you attended McMaster, obviously you got to travel around to different cities, to different schools, to different gyms. Do you remember for you which one was the toughest to play in? What gym was the toughest to play in, or maybe the most loud gym to play in besides defending home court?
I'm gonna say Lakehead. Lakehead is definitely up there when it comes to like one of the toughest gyms to play in. Their fans, they don't joke around. Those Lakehead fans do not play around. And
And
and Brock, but only Brock because like those were our rivals. So obviously
gym
when you
was
play your
packed out every
rivals,
night for when you guys played each other.
oh yeah, 100%.
Uh, and following that season, you made your way up to Ottawa, to the nation's capital, to try out with the Blackjacks, where I first met you. And I kind of want to know, how did that opportunity come about? And, walking into your very first professional training camp, what was your mindset?
Uh, Walking into the training camp, my mindset was just pretty much just do what you do. Don't let no one try to shun you or bring you down. Just got to just stay ready mentally and physically and just take it by storm. And that's what I did.
And you definitely showed out in that first training camp, and I remember you left a very positive impression on me when I came to pick you up for the first time at the team hotel, and you were a few minutes early, which surprised me because mostly dealing with athletes in my experience, some of them don't really have a care for if they're late or if they're on time and whatnot, but you made it very clear from the jump that you were someone that likes to be punctual, you were someone that likes to be on time, make a good first impression. And to me, that really stuck with me, and I really appreciated having that interaction with you, and then growing our friendship to where it is today. So, um, what were some of the? Do you remember when you first arrived at training camp and some of those first practices, first shoot arounds? Do you remember anyone in particular, anyone of your teammates that really stood out to you as oh, okay, this player can really hoop. This is different than OUA. This is a real professional here.
That team was stacked. We had Cadre Gray, Jackson Rowe, Dang Adele, Zena, Tate, like that team was stacked, and like just seeing them and how they operated and how they went about their days, it was just like, yeah, like I'm actually here with this group and I get to learn from them and just taking what they taken from like the coaching staff, and so it was an eye opener for me because when I got there I was just like, okay, like I'm really here. In my head it was just like, okay, I don't want to disappoint, I just want to like work hard and see where it takes me.
No, and you definitely showed out that training camp. You left an impression on not only myself, but the whole front office staff with not only your professionalism, but talent on the court too. It's a very special year for you. And you know that following season you played 29 games overseas in Germany where you averaged 11 and 8 on 65% shooting. For you, how did the European game mesh with your style of play and what did you learn throughout most of your time there? Because when when North Americans think about the European style of game, they think of a lot of passing. They think of kind of an old school teamwork type of game. It's not one on ones. You're not going up mano a mano against the person in front of you. You're passing, you're dishing, you're waiting to get to the best shot available. So for you, how did that style of play mess with your own personal style of game?
I feel like it meshed with me perfectly because it's like I'm not a selfish player. I've always been a team player. Uh, when it comes to like the pace, the pace was obviously fast. It was physical. I knew that it was going to be physical. Yeah, man, it was just me in general, like the type of player I am. Like I'm a rim protector. I can shoot the three. I can play defense. Like I could pretty much do about anything that I put my mind to. So it was just like once I got to the European level, it was just like, okay, this is the next step. So I'm just gonna do what I gotta do as well to make sure that I know the next steps that need to be taken in order to like further my success.
And was there a big language barrier when you went over to Germany as well, or was that um, did you find yourself speaking English most of the time with the locals and your teammates as well?
So when I went to Germany, they spoke English very well. My coach, he spoke English very well. So, there was no complaints on that side. Austria was the same for me. They spoke English. I feel like English is like it's one of the languages that's like you have to know, like, you
Hmm.
know. So it's like they spoke English very well, so I was blessed when it came to that. And now I'm in Bulgaria. They also speak English, but sometimes the coach doesn't know how to say certain words. So it's like the
Yeah.
assistant coach, he would talk in Bulgarian and the assistant coach would talk in English. But other than that, like if they can speak English, then it's good. I'm good wherever I go.
This season you signed with your hometown Scarborough Shooting Stars, and I want to highlight two of your biggest games this season, and you tell me something about each of these games that you remember. So on June 18th, which is my birthday, versus Montreal, you put up 14 points and 5 rebounds in only 15 minutes of play. And then on August 16th versus the Blackjacks, you had 19 points, 17 rebounds, which ended up being a franchise record in rebounds for the Scarborough Shooting Stars in the playoffs. And you ultimately knocked the Blackjacks out of the playoffs. So, starting with the Montreal game, what do you remember most about that game?
I feel like that was my welcome to the CEBL debut, even though I was already like a lot of games in. But like the Montreal game was like what really I would say woke up my coaching staff and the owners and my teammates. 'Cause it was just like, yeah, like Khalil Miller can actually hoop. Like obviously you guys signed me for a reason. I wasn't there just to be there. So that was like the eye opener for everybody. And the Ottawa game, you and I both know, everybody that knows me knows that that game was personal. So it was like I wasn't joking around when it came to that one. Like, that was a must win. That was like a yeah,
Now, was when that game versus Ottawa ended, was that a huge weight lifted off your shoulders, knowing what type of game you had and knowing who it was against?
100%, 100%, no doubt.
All right, last couple questions. Give me your five favorite rebounders in NBA history.
NBA history. Okay, I got Tim Duncan, Ben Wallace, Dwight Howard, Tim Duncan, Ben Wallace, Dwight Howard, Shaq, and Rodman. My fault.
Rodman?
Rodman. Yes,
All right.
Rodman. Yes, those are my five that I said in the
All right.
previous
So
one. Yeah.
top five, Duncan, you got Wallace, you got Howard, Shaq, and Rodman. That's one hell of a five to get aboard.
Yeah.
All right. If you handpicked four other players to play in a do or die championship game using only former teammates of yours, who are you picking? And these are guys that, you would want to, you want to go into the fire with. These are guys that aren't going to back down from a fight, from a dog fight. They can play any way you want. Who are the four other players that you were picking with you to start a game for the championship?
I'm not even gonna lie to you, Jay. I've played with some dogs, so it's like to give you that answer, I can only give you my guard position, and that is like it's locked in probably for life. Yusuf Ali, my point guard that I played with at Seneca College. That's the only position I can give you, to be honest. But the other positions, it's hard to even give you a shooting guard, power forward, yeah, and then a wing. Yeah, this my guard position, to be honest. But the others, it's up in the air.
So I did see that Yusuf Ali. I know that you guys are close. I believe I saw him in the news the other day. I believe he transferred. He's working in the States, correct?
Yep, he's with West Virginia. He's the one of the assistants.
Okay. So
Yeah,
that's very exciting. And what can you tell me about your relationship with him? I know that, in prior conversations that we've had, you've spoke very highly of him and he was your running mate there in Seneca. So what can you tell me about Yusuf and how do you think he'll do at West Virginia?
I mean, me and Yusuf, like we have that type of relationship where it's like, you don't got to talk every day, but it's love all the time. Like that's my brother. Like we've been through the fire when we were at Seneca, on the court. So it's just like you can't complain with that. Like I feel like once you put up a banner with a certain person slash player in his caliber, it's just like brothers forever. And then when it comes to like the coaching part of Yusuf, like I know he's gonna do great. He's always had that coaching style about him when it comes to himself. So it's like converting from playing basketball to the coaching, it's nothing for him. So he's ready for anything.
Do you think that you yourself would one day get into coaching once your career's done?
That's the plan, yeah. Like I can see myself being a coach, yeah, man.
And okay, I got two more questions for you. What would young Khalil Miller say to the future Khalil Miller?
Do not listen to no naysayers telling you that you can't do nothing, you can't do this, you can't do that. No coaches, no fans, no friends. Just keep going, and you'll see the fruits of your labor.
Well said, well said. All right, last question. Looking ahead, this year, next year, years to come, what goals or aspirations do you still have on or off the court?
But off the court, just taking it day by day, staying healthy, doing what I can mentally and physically to be able to do what I love, which is playing basketball. When it comes to basketball, I just want to play at the highest level that I can possible, and obviously make money while I'm doing it.
Well, I think that you have a great career ahead of you. Still young, you're still putting in the work and absolutely killing it overseas right now. And I look forward to seeing you back in the CEBL hopefully next season or seasons to come and bring a championship back to Scarborough. Khalil, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. And look, man, I hope that you continue to grow on and off the court and I hope that you have a killer season in Bulgaria.
Appreciate you, Jay.